Now, for more on what could derail this rally, I'm joined now by Tom Lydon, President and Chairman of Global Trends Investments. Tom, you've got some concerns here about first quarter earnings results. What's the biggest thing that keeps you up at night?
Well, the biggest thing, I think, is the weather. And you know, we've had a terrible, I don't need to tell you here in New York,
terrible.
But I know. But you think about everybody was inside. They weren't out shopping. Retailers already are warning, and we already have 7-to-1 pre-announcements on the negative side versus the positive side. Very concerning. Also,
but we know this, right?
Yep.
So with any sort of decline then in earnings and a share price be a time to buy, assuming there's going to be some payback in the second and third quarter from the weather?
Well, that's the thing, but we keep seeing new highs, right? So we've got to let some type of air out of the bubble. So if you're looking for opportunities and you feel like you're missing the marketplace, why not look to other areas that maybe have been drastic to perform in the U.S. where you may be able to diversify, right?
Like what? What are some good diversifiers
well,
here?
Emerging markets, right? Emerging markets have been really beat up, but not all emerging markets are created equal. We see the problems we've had over in Russia, right? Money's flowing out in China. Exports are down tremendously. But areas like Brazil have been doing extremely well, most importantly because all the natural resource stocks and companies that make up that area are actually bouncing back tremendously.
Well, hold on with Brazil for a second, because it does have high inflation. It has weak internal demand. Its sovereign credit rating was also downgraded. I mean, there are some serious issues, structural issues here.
There are, but if you look at the percentage of that economy that's based on natural resources and the prices, how far they've come down, and now just from a correlation standpoint, just so far this year, they've come up tremendously. The currency has actually been a heck of a lot stronger as well, and that's the same with India. And also a smaller country, Indonesia, has also been coming back. Also, those three areas are also going to have big elections in the coming months, which could help their local economies as well.
And it's important to point out, too, I mean, is there a difference here between, say, frontier and emerging markets? I mean, can you make that distinction between, say, an Indonesia and a Brazil? Well,
you can, but I think that's a good point. So especially as we look at ETFs, don't just group them all together. Don't just group your emerging market allocation all together. Look at the countries, look at the region specifically, and you can get pretty specific, as you point out, with Indonesia, which is a frontier, you know, a frontier country, and there are other countries like Vietnam that have come back tremendously. It gives you so many more different opportunities. People should look under the hood and take advantage of them.
All right, so you're forgetting about the U.S. You're looking at frontier, emerging markets like Brazil, Indonesia, as well as India. Thank you so much, Tom. It was great to have you here. We really appreciate Tom Lydon.